Okay, we are officially live for like a serious impromptu write-in thing.
Yes, we are.
Yeah. I did not advertise this to like anybody except for you, Chloe. I'm Sandy, by the way, if you're
Oh,
joining us
Chloe.
for the second.
We have enough
Um,
followers. I'm sure a couple people will pop on.
yes, probably. And we should. Is AuthorTubers still a place where we're posting anything?
Now that Devin has been doing the daily playlists, I've not been, but this is also impromptu, so it's not on his playlist.
Oh, I need to. That is amazing that Devin is doing that. Devin, if you are
Yeah.
if you are watching, and it wouldn't surprise me if you've magically figured out that we're doing this. Um, I cannot tell you how much we appreciate having somebody do something like that. That's
Yeah.
a huge help. Um, okay, well, I will at some point. Here, I'm gonna do it right now. Author tubers.
And I'm going to finish pulling up what I need to pull up.
Yes.
How's your day been?
Exhausting, and I'm getting no work done. But that's not true. I did get some work done today. I did laundry. Hey Courtney, I made lactation cookies. Those took really long to make.
What goes into that?
Oh, all kinds of interesting stuff. Brewers yeast and flaxseed and oatmeal. They're actually really good. Like the cookies are really delicious.
Good.
But they take a really long time to make. And I don't know. I also have lactation power bites, which is basically what I think I said the other day. It's like oatmeal and peanut butter, like sort of rolled up with stuff like brewer's yeast. The cookies you actually have to like bake, and baking takes time. And all I could think is like, what mom has time to make these things?
Maybe it's something you should be like that is usually outsourced to other people. That sounds like a grandma job right there.
It was a grandma job for like a few weeks there, and now the grandmothers have gone home, which fair. Like grandmothers should be allowed to have like time to themselves, but it leaves me on my own to do the lactation cookies. So mom, if you ever see this, thank you so much for making me lactation cookies for like forever. That was extremely helpful. But so I got the cookies done. I did some laundry. I fed the baby multiple times. That was quite. Oh, I cleaned up after the baby multiple times.
Why am I on this window? There we go.
What about you, Chloe? What have you had a productive day? You probably have.
Yeah, I've literally already done 2 writing streams today.
Whoa! So this is your third for the day?
Yeah.
Wow. You're very impressive with these things.
My word count wasn't great, which today, like this morning, or maybe, you know what? I do have a good word count. I just did the math wrong earlier. I thought I had gotten 2,200 over the 2 streams. I've actually gotten 3,200 over the 2 streams. So
that's good, right?
Yes.
You're happy with that.
Yes. I thought it was 2,200 before, and I was like, I feel like I could have done better than this. And I did have to do like some research and stuff. So I was like, well, maybe it was that, but no, I just didn't do my math right.
That's the better problem, right? Like the math error as opposed to the not enough words error.
Yes.
Yeah, that is a good thing. Should we get started with a thing? I have a massive amount of work to do. Let's do a thing.
Do we want to go for the 20 that it's already set at?
Yes, let's do 20 full minutes.
Okay. So we are going to do 20 full minutes. It is 5:21. What a weird time for us to be like starting a show.
Super weird.
Yeah. So we'll see you guys at 5:41. Okay, we are back. Devin has joined us. Hello, Devin. Sandy, were you able to get some work done?
Yeah, I almost got to the end of a chapter, which is great. It would be good if during this session I could get 3 chapters done. So I'm on pace to get 2.5 done. That's okay.
Yes. And over on Twitch, CB says hello. Hello, CB. Welcome. I got, I think, about 500 words there, which is cool because it felt really sluggish as I was writing it.
Isn't that like a nice surprise when like you don't even realize you're doing something quickly and then like it turns out you're actually being more productive than you think?
Yes. I just, I'm writing like a sad scene. So it just feels more sluggish than it is probably, but also very, stream of conscience, and that tends to flow out pretty quickly. So it's a trade-off.
Oh, those are much better. This is a goal for me for this year. I need to pick the projects that are easy to write. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yes.
I've got like many ambitious projects that I love, but that are not easy to write. And as a result, like they're never good enough. Like you could read them a million times and still feel like, I should have said that better. Like this doesn't flow well enough. I needed, but then there are projects that are easier. Like in particular, when you can do like first person perspective.
Yeah.
And I need to ditch I need to ditch everything hard. I need to ditch everything hard and focus on things that are easy to write and therefore are more profitable because they are finishable.
I'm also dealing with that. I've got all of these projects on the back burner that are like really ready to go, but they're also really ambitious and not even done. It's very rare that anything happens with this book, but I sold a copy of both of the books from the series I shouldn't have written today. And like I saw them and I was like, oh, you poor souls. I don't know when you're ever going to see the third book. It'll happen. But also with that one, like knowing where the third book is going, I have to have the fourth book already ready because it's not something that I can really leave out in the air. There are those books that like you really have to make it clear that the next book is coming out soon, or else readers are going to be really pissed about how you left it.
Yeah.
So I've got that, and I've got, oh my God, I've got Girlfriend by the Hour. Jesus, that one I need to do something with. And then I've got the Bloodworth series, which is kind of the whole reason that I was writing in paranormal romance to begin with, but it's high fantasy. It's super ambitious. It's got like all of these books that need to go into that series. And meanwhile, I'm like, I can do all that, or I can finish up all of these easy ones that I've got sitting here that, it's not that they're not good. It's just that they're not as ambitious.
You should finish the easy ones for sure.
Yeah. I don't have any of those 3 series in my list right now. My list is literally finishing up the 2 last books in the Demon series, and I've already gotten the final book in the Shifter series written, and I just need to like rewrite a couple chapters for it. And then there's like a little companion book for that's also mostly written. So those are my priorities right now. And then once I get through those, I'm going to turn out the rest of that Alien series because I've got 2 of the 6 books written for that. So yeah, I'm going to be working on the easy stuff for a while. And then hopefully there will come a time where I am stable enough that I can slow down and work on all these other projects.
So this year I have this book, this like sequel book that needs to go out, that I have
a deadline
and significantly different expectations that I had in the beginning. Actually, I think with this series, I might write the 4th book because I have the cover lined up for June, of course.
Right. Do you already have the cover for the third book?
Oh yeah. Do I have the third book completely written?
I don't know if you've ever showed it to me, but the good thing with that is that it's not like the bigger problem would be the reverse of that. If you had them written and you were waiting on the cover designer.
Well, that's true. And it's something I've been worried about because I love my cover designer and she's extremely popular. But so the last several years now, like for 3 years now, I have had covers, well, 2 years, 2.5 years. I've had cover design like lined up because she books like 2 years in advance. So I have book 4 booked with her for June. I don't have book 4 written yet, right? And so I'm way behind and I'm thinking to myself, and this is the series that I think is like never going to sell. Like it's my glorified backlist. So that I shouldn't say it. I shouldn't put it like that. I think it's totally going to sell after I find a series that is like, you know, genre specific and develop super fans who are willing to read anything that I write.
Yes.
You know, like, but that's what has to happen, right? Like I need to have that like people find my writing for something that they expect and then are willing to try something experimental. So I think I'm going to have to like, I think that saga, I think I'm going to have to like stop the cover design. I think I'm going to have to like hold off for a couple of years or like potentially just never do covers for the rest of the series. Like maybe make it an online thing only or something.
I mean,
but I
mean that's a bridge to cross when you get closer to that.
It is, but those are the kinds of things I feel like I'm having to decide right now. Like I think I need to say to myself, well, but I mean, I could theoretically just come up with a title for the 4th book, right? And like,
whoa, like you don't. Okay, I thought what you were saying was that this 4th book's cover was going to happen regardless of what your decision is. And so for that, like, yes, you do have to figure out the title, of course, but
yeah.
For the following books, you can, you know, decide what you want to do. If you have to book her like 2 years out, you can decide when you're actually writing the 4th after you've already gotten the 3rd written and all the way to publish, and then you're working on the 4th. That is when you can decide about the 5th.
Yeah, no, but I think okay, so here's the decision. It's should I even spend time on this series for the rest of the year at all? Or should I just come up with a title for the 4th book, like create a loose outline, you know, do that cover, sort of set a page, like I can tell the cover designer that it's going to be 600 pages or whatever. It's epic fantasy at that point. It'll be 600 page worthy. But like I could, you know, set a page limit, create a blurb, and then write the book to the cover. Do you know what I mean? Like later on. But that's really risky. That's like what if the story takes a completely different direction?
So I wouldn't worry about that with the actual cover design. For the blurb and for the page length, is it going to be that big of an expense if you change those later, or you say, you know, I don't have this together yet, but can we still get the cover and then add the blurb later?
Probably not. Like I'm guessing that adding the blurb is like the easiest part for her, but or I could probably create the blurb and then later go back and say, you know, do you mind just changing this? I highly doubt that's like a massive expense. But the title, right? Like that seems like kind of an important thing. But here's the thing, right? Like if I drop, like if I basically just do that, if I just focus on the title, that frees up months and months and months of time.
Yes, to build your brand.
And also to decide if I even want to be building this brand right this second, right? Because so hold that thought. Should we write some more? Should we write some more?
Let's look at comments really quick.
Yeah, let's do that.
There's a lot of talk happening that we
Yes.
We skipped over. Yeah. So during that first sprint, Melanie proofread one chapter and found a continuity error with one of your supporting characters' POVs. Easy fix though, just got to shift it to the next chapter. And the important thing is you caught it.
Yeah.
I didn't tell you. Oh my God, Sandy, really quick, and then we'll continue on the comments. One of the dumbest continuity errors in the Demon series, I literally changed the title of their shop or the name of their shop.
What was it, and what did you change it to?
In the first book, it's Sweet Memories, and then it morphs into Sweet Moments.
I feel like I vaguely remember looking at that and being like, there's a lot of shops going on here. Like I would really have to go back and like check.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, people are going to perceive that as a typo, not a continuity
right
error.
I'm not worried, and again, because they are such close words that unless anybody actually goes back, I feel like that most people would be like, oh, I just remembered it wrong.
Yeah.
If they catch it at all. So like obviously I'm going to go through and change them all. I like Sweet Moments, so unfortunately it's going to literally be changing the first book, which is the most irritating, but yeah, so I'm not worried that people are going to get mad about it. It was just like a real dumb continuity error, considering the amount of effort I had to put into coming up with that name. My friend Ashley had to actually do it for me. Courtney wrote 544. She also just finished the sad scene. And for Melanie, in the chapter that she just proved, the MC was unknowingly poisoned by not just an adversary turned friend, but by her older brother as well. Oh, that's weird. I don't remember. Do you remember what genre Melanie writes in?
I feel like this is fantasy. This has to be fantasy.
Well, because I'm thinking fantasy as well, but like, dark fantasy, right? I think I'm right about that.
I feel like that might be right. Yeah.
Yeah. I immediately read it as historic romance because that shit constantly happens in historical romance. But yes.
Brother.
And then Melanie's gonna have to hire a graphic. Ooh.
Oh, Melanie, I have 2 recommendations for you. I do. I'm gonna find them.
Yes, Sandy's got the one who's got that like 2-year backlist on, who does like amazing work, expensive but really amazing work. But Sandy also has the one who did your YA sci-fi.
Yes, I have her too. I actually have 3 then.
Oh, then there's 3. Oh my God, there's so many. I didn't even know that there was a third one.
I was just thinking dark fantasy is like most like the most likely she's gonna want not a photographic cover. If you want a photographic cover, I've got a great designer for that. I can find you people. I know the people. I'm gonna figure out where they are.
Oh, and also Courtney has confirmed for me. She also remembered that the shop names were wrong and wasn't sure, and also thought that she remembered it wrong. So that's exactly what I'm expecting readers to do. And hopefully one day soon I will get the new version of Clara out there, and then any new readers will have no idea that I did this. Let's go ahead and do our next sprint.
Okay.
Oh God, don't do this to me. Everything is fine. It's when I say don't do this to me, I'm talking to my own brain. Do we want to go for 20 again?
I vote 20.
Okay, we are going for 20. We will see you guys at 14 pass. Is that math right? 16 pass. I made that math too complicated.
Okay, we are back.
Oh God, I'm not even. There we go.
The baby is protesting in the background.
Babies do that.
Things are so bad. I almost finished a chapter. Then I got like baby distracted for a second, but I have at least a couple like book cover things I could share for Melanie, since somebody else is looking for book stuff. But Chloe, how did you do?
I only got like 250, but I had to like deal with cats and stuff. I was chatting with Melanie for a minute, and then I was like, I can still get a whole bunch of work done. And then the cats were like, no, feed us.
And that does happen.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see. So here is the link to the designer who did my my Immortal Mistakes series. And let me see if I can't actually pull those up, because I think I can. I think I can if I just like share my screen.
You can.
Okay, so that's Danielle's work. And I thought she did a really good job with all of those. In particular, that like last one.
I was just thinking that. I absolutely love that one. And I feel like you were struggling with that one for a minute, right? That was the one. Like, I know you struggled with Stella Rose Gold, but it was the first one, so that's always going to be a struggle. But I feel like you had something weird that happened with Mila. Was it the background was initially weird or something?
So it's the character. The like main character is my main villain. Like my whole series, like she is the villain of the entire like world universe series. So I wanted her to look kind of like a badass, but I also wanted her to look like a blonde bombshell. And
it was like, your fault.
Yeah, it was totally my fault. And so I think I told Danielle that I wanted her to look like a cross between Pretty Little Liars and like Darth Vader. And so to create that, she actually had like a friend do like the body there, that's some friend like created that. It's not like a real person, you know, like usually with like the photographic things, it's like an actual model, and then they're sort of like smushed together with others.
Me of a character from Soul Calibur.
Yeah,
like a good way.
But yeah, I mean, so that kind of thing. So I this is not like, as with all covers, like none of the girls are in outfits that I envisioned. Like I would not have picked any of these, but I always think that the designer has done a very good job taking my story and my like general idea and translating it into something that like the audience might actually care about. So
like, she worked with you really well. Because I remember there was like a big issue with Stella Rose Gold with her outfit being too slutty. Yeah. Like her shirt was see-through or something, right?
Yes, the shirt was see-through. And I mean, you know, it's very interesting, right? Like, again, this is kind of a like genre issue. I am always anticipating that YA is younger than it actually is. This is part of the massive problem I have with my writing, right? Like I'm writing something between middle grade and YA, and it turns out that's not a genre, and it's but so you got to pick a cover, right? You have to choose. So for YA covers, it turns out that the covers are just a little more adult than you would think. But so this is, so I really liked working with Danielle. And then I also absolutely love Jenny at Seedlings. And I mean, I think these covers are like to die for. Let me show you these. Ooh, that's craziness.
Yeah, you got exciting there.
How do I stop that? Okay. Here. So this is what Jenny did for me. Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh no,
Oh.
tragedy strikes. Also, the first one that she had up there was very reasonably priced, if I remember correctly. I know this designer was fairly expensive, which of course you get what you pay for. Like those are all absolutely stunning covers. The other ones were also really good, but they're a different kind of art, and they there comes Daddy. But like the first one had very reasonable rates for those covers.
Yeah, I think they were like a couple $100 each. And yeah, poor little man. I'm not gonna like pass him. I'm not gonna like YouTube him, for the sake of
Yeah.
I don't know his general privacy later. But yeah, he's clearly not happy. Yeah, so the first ones, Danielle, I think hers were priced at, it was like $180 or something for each cover. And thank you. I think the little man is cute too. These covers are more expensive, so I want to say these are more like $500 covers, like per cover, which I mean is kind of it's hard to get covers like this without paying that kind of money. But this designer also, again, this is the one that's booked out for like 2 years, so you choose your poison. I'm trying to find there's a third one. Not somebody that I've worked with, but somebody where like I keep looking at her covers and being like, wow, like these are amazing.
Also, hello, Al. Thanks for joining.
For the covers, I think something to keep in mind is that like not every cover artist is going to be booked out for 2 years. So like Danielle, the first covers I showed you guys, she's fairly quick. So like, I mean, usually I can have like a month notice with her. Although I don't know if that's true now, because I think probably as the cover designers get like more popular, they become harder to book. But I mean, that's something to think about. And also, if somebody's a little bit newer, then like you might be able to find somebody who just hasn't built up the audience, right? That like just like us, right? Like they can sell their stuff cheaper or will sell their things cheaper if
to get the name.
Yeah, and by cheaper I mean $100 to $200 range as opposed to like $500 to $1,000 range, which I think, I don't know. And you could also do like what Chloe has done. Chloe has learned how to do her own covers. And like that Kano cover, oh my gosh, that's beautiful.
Okay, yeah. Apparently, what I need to be doing for the rest of my life is alien romance cover.
You should be selling alien romance covers. Because, I mean, those are phenomenally done. You should have you guys seen those? You should pop those up if you
I don't
have not shown.
Oh Lord.
I can't possibly hope to do what any of that. Like if I ever create a cover, it's that like sort of very basic, like
the funny thing with the alien ones is it's really just you throw a crap ton of filters at it and you see what works. Let me see if I can get this open without my computer getting too grumpy. Why did you ask me that? Okay. It was like, would you like to open it with GIMP? And I'm like, well, it does say it's a GIMP file, so I don't know what else you want to open it with.
Oh, I found the other artist. It's on Facebook. Her name is Seventh Star, Stephanie Saw. Let me see if I can do a link to this. I don't know if this is going to. So this is an artist where I've thought, wow, like hers are really amazing, and like the next time I need like a totally different style but still fantasy, I think she's doing really, really, really good work. And she does pre-mades where like, she's already made something gorgeous and you just you contact her and say, yes, I would like to buy that. And then the next thing you know, you've got something gorgeous.
There we go. All right. So keep in mind that first of all, that yellow line, well, I guess I can just turn off those yellow lines.
Oh,
I
wait,
just have guides.
but
What?
share your screen.
Oh, yeah. Let me see if I can get rid of these yellow lines first. They're just guidelines, but they're remove all guides. There we go. They were from, or you're not going to remove the guides. Okay. It's just going to be grouchy with me. Okay. So also keep in mind that this is alien romance. So this is going to be completely insane. But that is the cover for Kano.
Oh, I think it's fantastic.
Yeah, I'm happy with how it turned out. It's ridiculous. It's like the most ridiculous damn thing that I've ever done, but it works.
We're not doing it justice with the screen share like this either. Like
No,
yeah.
it's there's that whole oh god, is it JJ Abrams who like goes nuts with lens flare, and I feel like JJ Abrams would absolutely love to make these covers because that's exactly what you do. And then let's see if I can get there.
I feel like I have like no hope of learning how to do that. Like it would take me so long to do.
No, that's not the one I want.
I might as well just I don't know. Like that's definitely not.
There we go. So this is the covers for my Demon Romance series. So this is the other ridiculousness that I do.
Is it Kino or Kano? Kino?
Kino, technically.
I don't know. It's absolutely, it's my favorite of yours so far. Like wow.
It's definitely the most to market.
Dog. Hang on one second.
Okay. But also the biggest struggle that I've had with these demon romances is that because they are also holiday themed, there is just no market for me to compare it to that gets the holiday stuff across, and also like the whimsical part of it across, because these are very much holiday demon rom-coms, except for the last one got pretty serious. That's okay. But yeah, so it was really hard finding a market for these. And no, Melanie, I do all of these in GIMP, which is basically open source Photoshop. But I got to the point where I literally took a class on how to use this program. It was from Udemy. I think I paid like $15 for it, and it was amazing. And it has helped quite a bit. Anyways, let's go ahead and do another sprint. Which means I need to share that other screen. We're being slower than usual today, and that is okay. We're being lazy, and that's fine. We're still getting
Friday night.
Yeah. It is. This is our ever exciting Friday night that thankfully, because of COVID, we can claim is not just like what Friday night always is.
Yeah.
This isn't what I'd be doing on a normal Friday night. Not at all. So let's go for 20 minutes. We'll see you guys at 10 of. Okay, we are back. How'd you do, Sandy?
Good. I think I'm on the 3rd chapter.
Your microphone, did you move it?
Oh, can you hear me at all?
I can. It sounds like you're talking through something right now.
Hang on. You go. How did you do?
I don't even know. I'm at like 800 words for this session, so I'm not doing amazingly, but I am chugging along. And Melanie proofed a 3rd chapter, and oh god, my mouse is freaking out. So Al has put up the question: my kingdoms turned the day they were whisked away and hidden from the world into a celebration. Oh, I'm sorry. I read that wrong. I put the cadence on it wrong, so it doesn't make any sense. Okay, my kingdoms turned the day that they were whisked away and hidden from the world into a celebration. So it's an anniversary celebration. But what happens on the year the spell is over? The 1,000-year deadline is up. Would they still celebrate? So Al, I don't want to call out your age or anything, but do you remember Y2K? When all of the computers were supposed to die.
Does that make us old? Does that make us old?
I mean, so if Al is this isn't even that young, but if Al is 30, then she would have only been 10 when that happened and probably not remembered it as well as you or I did.
Oh my gosh, we are old. Okay.
Yes. So it's more that we are old. So when Y2K happened, we were all a little bit nervous, just a little bit nervous, but we still partied. And then, of course, nothing happened. Oh, so she was 17. I'm only a little tiny bit older than you, but also I was not a good person when I was 20. 19. I would have been 19. In all fairness, I would have turned 20 that year. I would have been 19. I came home from... What was that?
I'm sure you were a good... Is my microphone still bad? Is it all...
No. I just was talking at the same time.
We're gonna dissect that. I wasn't a good person. Comment later.
Okay, so no. We're just gonna go ahead and lay it out there because it's not like I've never once mentioned my shady past to anyone, but I was definitely on a metric crap ton of ecstasy that night.
That does not make you okay. Now, granted, like this is very different from how my high school goody two shoes experience went, but I'm just gonna put this out there and say that whether or not you are a good person is not dependent on your behavior when you're 19.
I was an irresponsible person.
You were a teenager.
Yeah. And I feel like I actually worked that night. So I was late to the party. So I wasn't even like messed up when the countdown happened. But somebody did absolutely flick the switch just to mess with us. Like where we were at a house and somebody like threw the fuse or whatever. So everybody thought that all the computers had exploded. But we kept on partying, so the joke like only kind of worked. But so that is just like a real world kind of example that we have had where we weren't sure what was going to happen. We knew something really, really bad could happen. We were hoping it wasn't going to, and it's a night that you party anyways. So we all just partied and we hope for the best. So, for realism's sake, and I know that sometimes realism is not the right way to go when you're telling a story, but that is my realistic viewpoint on what would happen in your scenario.
But I think like it would really depend on the kind of society, right? Like, we live in the sort of society where like even if like all the computers in the world had glitched, probably things would have been okay at some point. Like, there wasn't going to be
eventually, yes.
Yeah. There wasn't like nobody really thought that the actual apocalypse was coming.
We weren't going to turn into Mad Max.
No. unlike what happened, 2 or 3 days ago.
Right. Where the hell did that come from?
Now we live in an era of the apocalypse. So I suppose the big question is like, what would happen like today? Like if we thought that like there was something that was promised, and it was 1,000 years coming, because weirder stuff has happened over the last 365 days. So I don't know. I think I don't know. I don't know what people would do.
And then, so there's also, we could literally spend an entire session talking about this, like not even a little bit joking. I could personally spend like 2 hours discussing this topic, but another good example would be like, and would possibly tie into your world, because this is like a crazy fantasy, 1,000 years, what's going on. But like, so there is that point, and you did mention something about it, how they, Al mentioned that they wouldn't necessarily even believe that this was happening. So you can also look at like doomsday cults and the fact that like they all have these prophecies that something is going to happen on this date, whether they're going by like the stars or a Mayan calendar or whatever it is. And they supposedly have this evidence. Like the Mayans have been saying that this was going to be, I don't remember. I know there was one recently where supposedly a Mayan calendar had said this is absolutely going to happen on this date. Nothing happened. But you could also go with something like that, where most people don't have any, like they're just laughing at those who believe that this thing could happen. And they go about their day. Whether it does happen or not, I don't know, because this is what's going on before that. So it doesn't matter, but you could absolutely have a situation like that where you do have people who are diehard. This is going to be a disaster. Here is how I am preparing, whether it's bunkering or drinking the flavor aid, whichever way these people go, who knows?
I feel like if you watch Independence Day again, like you may not have pulled it out for like 10 years, but like watch that and like see what people do like right before the aliens are supposed to attack. Like how like there are like the people like partying on the roof, like, hey, we're here. And then there are also like the like hardcore zombie preppers. But I'm not actually 100% sure that we're understanding what Al's like storyline is. I feel like maybe there is something that's going to happen.
So she just said another question. If I made nothing happen, would that ruin the story? And I will say, Sandy, that she hasn't mentioned this story before, and I don't think you were on those shows. So I have a slightly better background on this one. And it is fantasy, and it's something where basically a race of creatures were like taken off. And I'm sure I'm going to get this slightly wrong, Al, but we're basically no longer a threat to them. And it was supposed to be in 1,000 years that like they were removed as a threat for 1,000 years, whether they were like imprisoned or mystically or whatever. But
so like I'm gonna need this laid out for longer than we have. We should totally write and let Al.
We should.
Let Al research.
To that particular question from Al, that if you made nothing happen, would that ruin the story? Honestly, I like when writers do stuff like that. I like when, as long as like it is still given a fair treatment about it not happening. I do like when that twist happens, because you're totally expecting it to happen and then nothing happens. And then, whatever happens with the world from there is just, it's definitely how you treat that scenario that will make it work or not work.
So we've also almost been on here for 2 hours. So this should probably be our last sprint.
Yes, this is going to be our last sprint. Did you still want to do 20 though? Are you good for 20? Do you want to do 10 instead?
Let's do 10. I have a child crying somewhere in the background. I'm not sure what's going on down there.
Somewhere in the background.
Yeah.
Sandy has already reached peak motherhood. Okay, so we are going to write for 10 minutes and then we will have our goodbyes. We will see you guys at 7:10. Okay, we are back. How did you do, Sandy?
I finished up that chapter. Did I say I wanted to get 3 chapters done in this session? I got 3 chapters done. I feel good about that.
Nice.
Yeah.
I
And you?
was getting words done, and then I forgot. This is like the dumbest thing ever. I forgot what the treat was that Clara made for Locke that was the little Debbie or whatever thing. Like, the whole thing is about lemon bars, but remember there's something that she makes for him, and Hazel is stoned on angel dust, not the drug angel dust from an angel. And she eats like half of it, but like they're for him.
Are they caramels or something?
No,
They're not caramels.
I remember because we had a whole discussion of like how you'd even make them if you were not buying them. And I remember they're like a Hostess snack or a Little Debbie snack or something like that. I'll just have to dig through the book and find it. But like, I can't believe I forgot that because it was a whole ass conversation that we had about that. And then I had to take it to my coworkers as well. Yeah.
It's a lot over a Little Debbie snack.
Yes. I also just I'm not to be like TMI for people who don't read paranormal romance, but I also just had to look up to see if Eloise and Killian, like if either of them drank the other one's blood that first time they had sex.
Oh, I think that might have happened.
It did. It was. So where it was confusing was that I remember that Eloise had bitten him. But Eloise did not break skin. She just bit him because she was just bitey.
I am being called by my family, so
okay.
or not, I gotta go, you guys. I'm so sorry.
Okay, so we are going to call it a night.
You can hang out if you want still, Chloe.
No, I'm gonna go because I got to do some stuff too. But do you want to? Obviously, we can't schedule anything, but do you want to plan for a couple more pop-ups this weekend?
That would be amazing if we can do it.
Okay. All right. So, yeah, if you guys are new and haven't watched our show before and are not following us, you should subscribe or follow, whatever the hell the term is. That's okay. Because we'll probably be doing some pop-ups this weekend. So, you guys, good luck with your projects, and we'll see you later.
Bye, everyone. Thanks for joining us.